In a moment that no one saw coming, Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning have sent shockwaves through their fanbase and the wider entertainment world after delivering a surprisingly candid confession during a recent public appearance. What was expected to be a routine media event quickly transformed into one of the most talked about moments of the year, leaving fans stunned, emotional, and full of questions. The event, attended by dozens of media outlets and hundreds of fans, initially followed a predictable format. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and both Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning appeared calm and composed as they greeted the crowd. Dressed in simple yet elegant outfits, the duo smiled politely, seemingly ready to promote their latest project. However, the atmosphere shifted dramatically when a question from a journalist prompted an unexpectedly honest response. Xiaoyu, known for maintaining a reserved and mysterious image, took a brief pause before speaking. That hesitation alone was enough to catch everyone's attention. Then, in a steady but emotional tone, Xiaoyu began to open up about personal struggles, pressures, and the realities behind the glamorous image often portrayed in the public eye. The confession was raw, heartfelt, and unlike anything fans had heard before. "I think people only see what's on the surface," Xiaoyu admitted. "But behind that, there are things we don't usually talk about, fears, doubts, and moments where we question everything." The crowd fell silent. Fans who had gathered with excitement suddenly found themselves holding their breath, absorbing every word. It was a rare glimpse into a more vulnerable side of someone who had long been perceived as untouchable and perfectly composed. Before anyone could fully process Xiaoyu's words, Tian Xuning followed with an equally surprising admission. Known for a more cheerful and energetic persona, Tian Xuning revealed that maintaining that image had not always been easy. "There are times when I feel like I have to be strong for everyone," Tian Xuning said. "But the truth is, I'm still learning, still making mistakes, and still trying to figure things out." The honesty of both statements created a powerful moment of connection between the artists and their fans. Social media platforms quickly exploded with reactions. Within minutes, clips of the confession spread rapidly, trending across multiple regions and sparking intense discussions online. Fans expressed a mix of shock, admiration, and concern. Many praised Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning for their courage, calling the confession refreshing, real, and deeply human. Others admitted they were not prepared for such emotional honesty during what was supposed to be a light-hearted promotional event. "I've supported them for years, but I feel like I'm seeing them for the first time," one fan wrote online. "This made me respect them even more." Another commented, "I didn't expect to feel this emotional. It's rare to see public figures speak so openly like this." Industry insiders have also weighed in, noting that such candid moments can reshape public perception. In an era where carefully curated images dominate the entertainment landscape, authenticity stands out more than ever. Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning's willingness to break that barrier may mark a turning point in how they are viewed not just as performers, but as individuals. However, not all reactions have been purely positive. Some critics argue that such confessions, when made in highly public settings, could invite unnecessary scrutiny or speculation. Others question whether the timing was intentional or spontaneous, adding another layer of intrigue to the situation. Despite the mixed responses, one thing is clear: the moment has left a lasting impact. The sincerity displayed by both Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning has sparked conversations about mental health, authenticity, and the pressures faced by public figures. As the buzz continues to grow, fans are now eagerly waiting to see what comes next. Will this mark a new chapter for Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning, one defined by greater openness and vulnerability, or was this a rare, one-time glimpse behind the curtain? For now, the memory of that unexpected confession remains vivid. A simple question led to an extraordinary moment, one that reminded everyone that behind the fame and spotlight are real people with real emotions. And perhaps that's why this revelation feels so powerful. Because sometimes, the most shocking moments are not about scandal or controversy but about honesty. The ripple effect of that moment didn't fade as quickly as many expected. In the hours following the event, several close colleagues and industry figures began subtly showing their support. Some shared encouraging messages online, while others hinted that what Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning revealed was only a small glimpse of the pressures they and many others in the spotlight have been facing for years. Behind the scenes, sources suggest that the confession was not entirely planned, but rather a spontaneous response driven by emotion. The atmosphere at the venue, combined with the directness of the questions, may have created a rare space where both felt compelled to speak honestly. If true, it makes the moment even more significant, an unfiltered break from the usual scripted interactions that dominate public appearances. Interestingly, fans have started revisiting past interviews, performances, and social media posts, trying to piece together clues that may now carry new meaning. Expressions that once seemed ordinary are now being interpreted differently, adding depth to the narrative that has suddenly unfolded. It's as if a new lens has been placed over everything Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning have done before. At the same time, discussions around boundaries have also emerged. While many fans are grateful for the honesty, there's a growing awareness about respecting their privacy. "We wanted to know more about them," one fan wrote, "but now that they've shared something real, I think we should also give them space." This shift in fan attitude could prove to be just as impactful as the confession itself. It reflects a maturing audience, one that not only seeks authenticity but also understands the responsibility that comes with receiving it. As the days go on, attention is turning toward their next public appearance. Will they address the confession again? Will they clarify or expand on what was said, or will they return to a more guarded approach? For now, neither Xiaoyu nor Tian Xuning has issued a formal follow-up statement. Their silence, however, is only adding to the anticipation. One thing remains certain: that unexpected moment has changed the conversation. What began as a routine event has evolved into a defining chapter in their public journey, one that fans, critics, and observers alike won't soon forget. As speculation continues to build, some analysts believe this moment could influence not just Xiaoyu and Tian Xuning's careers, but also the broader culture of celebrity transparency. In an industry often driven by perfection and image control, their willingness to show vulnerability may encourage others to do the same, though not without risks. There are also growing expectations from fans. Many now hope that future projects from the duo will reflect this newfound honesty,